It's Friday on Just Siri, and you know what time it is. It's time for Hot Topics Friday. Good morning and happy weekend. So when it's Friday, I really get excited, because I already have plans this weekend, and it's going to be a bummer. But, you'll get to see it. I know the ladies also have plans for the weekend.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Put on your shoes.
Oh, yeah. Now, it's actually that time where we get to take on the hottest stories, making headlines, the conversations everyone's having behind the scenes, on the scenes, and of course, the issues and controversies stirring reactions across the country. And believe me when I say, just before we got into the show, we actually had our own fair share of mini Jasiri. We had like a good talk about something. We're not going to talk about it on air, but then it was really interesting, right? So we got them loaded and ready to dish, and the ladies are all here on the table today, and we'll expect Tolu to come in next week as well. So if you are ready indeed, then I need you to sit back and get comfortable. Call your people, call your friends, call your frenemies, call your family, call your colleagues, call everyone, and let them all know that it is time for Jasiri. Yes, it's time for Jasiri here on News Central. So you can feel free to join us. Yes, join the conversation using the WhatsApp number on your screen at the moment. So we'll love to get your takes on the stories that we're taking today. It's actually time right now, and this is Hot Topics Friday on Jasiri. We're cutting through the noise with bold takes, honest opinions, and conversations that don't shy away from the heat. The stories are hot, the opinions are real, and the conversation starts now.
All right, so our first hot topic has been stirring emotions online, and it's got some people asking, is poverty really a mindset, or is it a system? Raheem Okoya, son of billionaire industrialist and Eleganza Group founder, Chief Razak Okoya, in a recent live stream with content creator Kata Efe, spoke about ambition, success, and personal growth, urging young people to rethink how they approach life. According to him, achievement starts from the mind. He says, and I quote, oh, this has got to be good. Poverty is a mindset. As long as you're thinking on a higher frequency, you can always achieve. Don't limit yourself. End of quote. So he went further, describing the brain as the most powerful tool given by God, encouraging young people to elevate their thinking and always aspire for more. And just like that, the internet went ablaze.
Well, for some Nigerians online, that message resonated. They agree that mindset actually does matter. So that's how you think you can shape how far you go. But for many others, Raheem's comments felt disconnected from reality. And some critics even argue that poverty in Nigeria cannot be reduced to mindset alone. So they point to inflation, unemployment, rising living costs, limited access to quality education, and unequal opportunities, factors that hard work and positive thinking alone cannot fix. So the conversation became even more layered when people recalled Raheem's past comments on wealth and exclusivity. Just in January, he opened a luxury bowling center in Lagos with membership reportedly set at $5,000 annually. Now, in reaction to people calling him out over the fee, he described the fee as affordable and positioned the space as a premium experience mainly for wealthy families and game lovers. Interesting, isn't it? Now, ladies, before we react, let's hear from him.
Last cruise thing he did. See, poverty is a mindset. So far you are thinking on a higher frequency, you can always achieve. Don't limit yourself. In life, the brain is the most powerful tool, and God has given us that brain. I'm being very, very serious when I say this. It is a mindset, and if you can elevate yourself to always aspire for more.
Okay, so now let's see how Nigerians are reacting. Hey, let's see how Nigerians are reacting.
They will react, I'm sure.
Of course they will. If this guy has hustled for streets before, then I'll listen more to him. You come out of this world and everything is there for you. What pain have you gone through before thinking of high frequency? If an experienced person gives an advice, then we look into it. I guess that's what Jinoso wanted to say. So Tate Michael says he's telling the truth. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. You can't rise above your thinking or the thoughts that dominate your heart. However, the backlash he might be getting is because many feel he talking like this because he's from privilege. But what he said is true. Well, regardless of if he worked for what he enjoys today or not, one thing is certain. If a rich man cannot motivate me to become rich, then a poor man has no lesson to teach me on how to escape poverty. Okay.
He has a point.
I get what Sir Raheem is saying, but let's be real. Mindset alone doesn't erase systemic challenges. Thinking on a, in quote, higher frequency can push you further, no doubt. But access, opportunity, and resources still play huge roles. Still, it's a good reminder your mindset shapes your hustle, even if it cannot rewrite the whole system.
I would. Why did you give this long
All right,
one?
so
I
let me take that. I
Yeah.
would not take advice about poverty or wealth from a man who has not experienced it or built anything. It is said that in a council of men who own bicycles, a man who is driving his father's car should not speak there. Now, a Nepo kid who knows nothing about the struggles of life is not qualified to tell people about poverty or mindset. A boy who grew up in an environment where his parents had already provided everything for him cannot understand the realities of life. You can talk about other topics, but not mindsets. And that's from Sarbu. King Oziegbe Odion here says, what the son of a billionaire Okoya said about poverty being just a mindset and our brains are the real tool to succeed in life is true. Now you can tell he went to one of the top schools and it's clear from how he talks. But does he realize his words explain exactly why the elite do not want to improve our education system? In fact, the stuff taught in our schools come from scripts written by capitalists, the bosses who own all the big companies. They designed it to train us just to hunt for jobs in their workplaces and not to build our own futures.
Another angle.
Another angle, honestly.
Right, and that's all the reaction we can take.
You know, life is funny.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it, can we ever get it right completely? You know, there are some people, all of us that are on this earth, were all born to families, and none of them by our choosing. She was born to a family in the north. I was born to a family in Ogun State. She was born to a mixed family in Cameroon. We didn't choose where we were born. So sometimes people suffer for something that is not by their own making.
Yeah.
Honestly, billionaire children, whether they like it or not, people would always judge their privilege. But the only thing that can really set them apart is how they make a success of their own personal life. And where people can follow their trajectory. Even if it's business they do. I always remember MKO Abiola. And sometimes that gives me a bit of caution.
Yeah.
Because Baba had a lot of money. There was a time in his time that he was considered one of the richest men in Africa.
Yeah.
But all his industries, everything he had, I don't know if I would say somebody in the family is really carrying I'm not saying they're not carrying the light, but maybe not as bright, as illuminated as he carried it. So this young man talking, sometimes a lot of people, no matter what he does, everybody is just going to believe that, oh, it's because he comes from affluence. But we should not forget that the basic rules of life apply to all of us. There are many privileged children that were sent to great schools and they are still nothing. At least we're very happy that he's
making
doing something, he's making his way in the world. People judge his business that, oh, he's opened a bowling alley. Trust me, bowling alley is not everybody's cup of tea. And everybody can position their business as they desire. Yeah. Katri can start a shoe line now, and she'll say, I want to sell to only elites. That means the lubes, the Valentinos, and somebody she can set up a business and say, I want to cater to, you know, the mass market. And she wants to sell pure water that everybody can reach. I don't think people should judge the boy so harshly because he talks about the mindset. Because mindset is what rules all of us, whether we like it or not.
I was curious about the guy that was darting his eyes.
Oh my God. Like, let's not go to that corner, please.
What was it? The person
Kata that was on his side.
Yeah. Kata Ife, what are you... It just seemed like you couldn't help but notice that. But that's an aside.
Privilege, underprivileged.
Do you get?
Did you see the polo behind him?
Eh?
That's no.
There's another young man.
Him. Yeah, he even I would say Katepe even had a little bit of privilege, but Kolu had none, right?
Yeah.
And he's trying to build something for himself, right? And looking at the fact that he's handy capable. Yes, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, Catherine, sorry for cutting you off.
No,
I was just trying to point out something.
Yeah, everybody's making their way.
I feel that what he said is true. Truth can exist at the same time. What he said is true. I know that Nigerians were very sensitive.
Hey.
We're very sensitive. Who will be this one now? Who do you think? What have you seen in life that you're coming out to talk? So we have that kind of mindset towards him. Oh, we know who your father is. You didn't sweat to achieve anything. And what have you achieved in life? You know, these are the kinds of phrases you hear on the
At least I saw his graduation picture.
They say, what have you achieved?
But I saw his graduation picture. That's achieving education for himself.
Stop. No, but seriously, you go to all the fine schools, you come out, you're talking. Maybe you've had people around you who say these things this way. You've seen people who were not as privileged as you are, and you've seen how they've achieved and stepped up to elevate their status. That's okay. But for me, I'm saying that for somebody like what Lolo said, it's not his choice. He didn't choose to be born into the family that he's born into. But I believe your actions stemming from the family you were born into is going to define who you are moving forward.
Yeah.
There's so much you can do with your father's name, your mother's name.
Exactly.
You need to chart a path
For yourself.
So my own is, what is he doing to chart a path? What are his actions saying?
At least
I actually understand, you know, when one of the reactions, one of the persons said that, yes, even if you do have the mindset, access, opportunities, you know, these are also very, very important things that, you know, would actually push you forward and actually help you be where you are. And, you know, it's just like you have, let me just compare two people now, a son of a nobody and a son of a Okoya.
Somebody.
Opening, okay, so the son of a Okoya just opened the luxury bowling alley. And then the son of a nobody goes to the bank, collects a loan, and then opens a luxury bowling alley as well. Right? So when it comes to taxes, when it comes to, you know, clientele and everything, who do you think would have it easier or better? The son of a nobody or the son of the Okoya?
But do you know that I have learnt business? There's so many things I used to excuse myself for in the early years. I will share with Catherine.
I know where Lolo is going.
The rules of life exist for us all.
Yes.
I found out that every point in time that I've had to make a choice, the choices you make is what determines what happens thereafter. You might be the son of a luxury person. You might be the son of a known person, but you don't have business acumen. I know a guy, if he canvasses you, my God. Do you know that Ola of Lagos that everybody thought? Well, I say, if you see it, you will like it.
You will love it.
Do you know you will love it? I didn't know him personally. But the way he sells the houses that he didn't own at that time, my sister, unlike somebody that has a bowling alley and he chose to do no marketing.
Because
nobody knows the business. Nobody, his friends might not even like him.
And he charges a membership fee of $5,000.
And people are just like, look, how much you charge for your business is even relative. If you have the right way to market your product, people would even save up to be able to afford it, because they want to belong to the higher mighty circles. So it's about how you can push business. I know this is Funke related, but I'm saying that you have a good product, nobody knows about it, and you have a good product, you are on the streets every day shouting on top of your voice. Who do you think people are going to gravitate towards? Like this bowling alley now, I didn't know about it. I've seen pictures of people at a bowling alley in Lagos, but I didn't know it was...
there are different bowling alleys.
Oh,
Before
now,
we go on a break, it also reminds me of, you know, a program on YouTube. I don't want to call the name, mention the name, but then there's this son of a billionaire. I even thought it was him, but apparently it isn't. They put him in the middle, and then you had, like, you know, children from average families around and everything, and they asked him questions. They were asking him questions, and they asked him how much he thinks the cost of fuel is. And then he just went round and round and round in his response and said he was like, oh, well, compared to how it was years ago, I think it's quite affordable. Everybody was like agape. Like they even have no idea how much things cost because it's been done for them. So, sorry, Kathy?
Yeah.
No, no, I'm not going to be tempted to say something.
What you have to say.
Let's go on a break. This is Hot Topics Special Friday on Jasiri. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Of course, I wish you heard what we discussed when we are on a break. Honestly, we need that Jasiri Uncensored. Anyway, welcome. If you're just joining us, this is Jasiri. Up next, is this witchcraft manifesting or is it not? At Girls Mom 1 posted this on X and she said, I quote, I deleted my childhood friend's number today because I didn't want to see her WhatsApp status anymore. She seems to be doing well for herself, a stable business, a healthy relationship, basically everything. Meanwhile, I'm on the other end, struggling with almost everything in my life. I know I shouldn't compare, but deep down, it keeps coming up. I'm genuinely happy for her, but I can't deny it. That, you know, it stings to see someone we started life together doing better. Does this make me a bad person? At Cremeline replied to a tweet saying, LOL, remove this babe as my friend on Snap and ultimately from streaking me. Moved to Canada and in less than 6 months, she don't hear car, partying, awesome friends. Every week there's a Shein order she's unpacking. Never been so jealous in my life. Wow, this is so real. Ladies, let's honestly talk. I honestly want to know what your take is on this. But before we go, I think people have their reactions to this particular one. Let's take reactions, then we'll come back on the page.
Not at all. It makes you human. You can be happy for someone and still feel the pang or the sting of comparison. Protecting your peace isn't bitterness, it's self-care. Different timelines don't mean you're failing. It will all come together for you very soon. Jealousy is a very normal feeling, and it's okay to acknowledge it. What's not okay is cutting off a friend who did nothing to you simply because you're jealous of them doing better than you. They are not the cause of your problem. How many successful friends or relatives are you going to cut off just to feel better about yourself?
I unfollowed a school friend on IG because of this. Being jealous isn't a moral failure. When your efforts keep getting interrupted, when progress never sticks, when the future you plan keeps slipping away, watching others thrive doesn't feel motivating. It feels like a cruel joke. Forever Taj. Deleting a lifelong friend just because her life looks better than yours right now shows pettiness and envy dressed up as protecting peace. Genuine happiness for someone doesn't vanish the second their wins highlights your losses. If it does, that friendship was conditional all along. Own it, baby girl. You don't know anything about this girl as you are watching her WhatsApp status for updates on her life. She's not your friend, or else you will be in the know. I wouldn't need to spy on her. You are a secret hater. Good for her that you deleted her number. Go heal. Lex Retro. Oh, show. Ladies.
Kathy?
I think wow. No, that's on you. You have said it.
You start dashing. Start.
All right. I would want to say that I don't think she's necessarily, like people have actually said jealousy is a normal thing. We have all felt jealous one way or the other. But I think cutting her friend off completely, you know, shouldn't be. Whatever happened to hiding her WhatsApp status so you don't have to see it? And we understand that, you know,
she might not know she can do.
No, there's so much pressure, especially on the internet. Social media comes with a lot of pressure. But do you even have an idea what this girl is going through that she is not putting out there? Like we've always said on this table, right? A lot of people go online and they, you know, display this perfect life. But you do not know what they're going through internally. So you even being jealous or even comparing your life with her, you know, screams insecurity. So I think she's not angry with the girl. She's angry with herself for not being where she is. If it were me, if I felt jealousy, the next thing I'll do is go into my room, cry to God and ask God, why me? When will it be my turn?
Oh,
you
God,
understand?
yeah.
Exactly. So rather than, holding on to jealousy, it's not a good thing.
I just think that in this time that we're living in, every day I come and confess my jealousy and envy to you people. But the thing is, I've learned to understand emotions. Sometimes we're too hard on people when they are honest. Sometimes you need to actually take yourself away from those spaces that is affecting you mentally. I don't mean removing the girl from our WhatsApp for now. I don't think it's a bad move. Sometimes you need to work on yourself. Just like Dashin self, it is herself that is the problem. It is not the girl. So sometimes if you need to unsee some things for a while, so that you can mentally there's a way when you do fasting. It helps you reassess yourself, get to a better place. Then maybe she can add her back to her WhatsApp and her mental state is better. But when people confess their vulnerability or their realness or their truth, and we all come at them with daggers like, you are this, you are that. She says, yes, she acknowledges the feeling. She even names it. She put an adjective to it. That means she needs to do something to work on her own self. And just like everybody will always remind us that social media, public life is curated life. Is what you want people to see. They would see. You don't know how all of us are this morning. You don't even know if I have a shoe under my table.
But we come on air and we smile and, it looks like
yes,
everything
we come
is
like
okay
everything is
us,
normal. But every individual is either on a journey, already on a journey, about to go on a journey, or in the middle of their journey. But let me tell you, till you die, nobody arrives.
I think I'll take the road less traveled on this. I think I'll say, because the truth is, they're both strong emotions. Jealousy and envy are very strong emotions. I don't know which is more potent. I think jealousy is more potent because envy, if you leave envy unchecked, or if you leave two of them unchecked, I think, jealousy has to, I think, less insecurity has to do with envy, and jealousy is a stronger emotion. I'm with the girl on this, because the truth is, listen, everybody, and we talk about it in the makeup room, that's where we've been. Our makeup room, we talk about it, we say, everybody, you say it all the time. Lolo says, everybody has the potential, you have positive and you have negative. Everyone has the potential to lean into whichever energy that is bubbling to the surface at that point. Everybody has the potential to be mean, potential to envy, potential. It's normal. You are jealous of her.
Ce n'est pas normal.
No,
How do you say
normal?
Ça, c'est normal.
C'est normal. It is human nature. We want to hide it by saying, I'm happy for her, but inside, why her? Why him? Why does it work for her more easily than it works for me? So I think, yes, it's not a matter of because you don't want to see her. You're jealous of her. And it's okay. Why is it happening to her? Because sometimes we feel, this person not reach me. Why is it that things are happening for her?
Turn by turn, as they say.
Oh, we
hear that it is done by
I think we have some WhatsApp messages.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even know I had the
WhatsApp.
The WhatsApp with me. Okay. I think this is from our first story. It says, "Good morning, dear sisters," and the. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
so go through it. So before you go through it, okay. So, it reminds me of, I think for her, it reminds me of a friend that I had, and this is the reason why I really don't make close female friends, right? So if you know of any friend that I have, then that person must have been there, trusted and trusted for the long haul and over the years. I think my longest friend would be someone that she doesn't even know everything about me, right? But I will call her my friend. 14 years now we've been there. So I've had a friend who I was so close to. I told everything to. We're so close, like sisters. I had no idea that this girl was a witch. Like, she was jealous. Meanwhile, I was living my life, and it could be what is happening now. That lady is out there living her life. Only God knows, the good, whatever that she came into at the moment. And yeah, she's flaunting it to make herself feel better, probably. But this girl, she was such a witch that she would go around asking people close to me questions about me.
So like someone
she wanted what I had, and I didn't really have. Yeah, she was monitoring me. So, are you shocked? So, there are people like that. So in such cases, It's a good thing that this lady actually decided to delete or, block
Work
her. So it doesn't get to that. Because it will get to a point where she would want what she has, and before you know it, she'll go around monitoring, asking questions, and trying to steal whatever she has.
Let's read some of our WhatsApp messages. Thank you very much you can still send in your WhatsApp messages. This one is the first story that we took, the Raheem Okoya story. The correct statement is that poverty is man-made. Education is poverty liberator. It opens and widens a man's scope. A well-educated society creates wealth. That's why a child of a poor man today becomes somebody tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you very much, even though I do not see a name there. Okay, this person the other person said hello. So keep sending us WhatsApp messages. We would love to read them to, make our conversation more robust. I always say that. You know what you're saying? I said, it seems that humans, naturally, I don't know what we can be satisfied with. Sometimes people will say be vulnerable. When you are vulnerable and honest, they say, why are you vulnerable? Why are you feeling this way? Yeah. Everybody feels a certain way. But what is important is what are you doing about the feeling? This girl chose to ease off for a little while. And some people are saying, oh, you are a witch, you are envious. She has already acknowledged that I have a problem and I need to deal with it. Is it not better she does it without the knowledge of the lady? Or the person in question? Yeah, because when you say
she
like becomes someone that maybe the tentacles of that envy now came out and does something really bad.
All I know is that it is a feeling that people will continue to have.
Yeah.
And people have it. You look at, there's some statuses you look at or some posts on the streets of social media.
Yes,
it can be Instagram, Facebook, whatever. On the streets of social media, you see someone say, so this person, look at this person. This one was the dullest person in the class.
Yes,
how is it that this person
I had that conversation some years ago. Can't you remember what I came to cry for last week? When I didn't get an invite to one birthday party.
Exactly. So you ask,
and all of you encouraged me.
Why would that be a problem for you? That means you are envious of the person who got the invite, and you did. So it's a ripple effect kind of thing. It's not something that can be tucked away somewhere and then because you've deleted. No, you don't. Deleting the person, not seeing the person's status update. If you want to be true to yourself, after a while you will go to her page.
I want to check and see.
And see what else is new. Some people use that to live vicariously and expect that, live their lives in expectation that we always have friends that do better than us. It's just how life is.
How life is.
Are you going to go around
every day
and deleting and
So, it's one thing to delete, but it's another thing to work on yourself. It's not enough to delete and, just assume that, I've deleted, I'm in peace now, because other people would come up, other statuses will show up, and then if they're living a good life, you continue feeling angry and jealous, about them. So
the ironic thing about life
on yourself. Let me just go ahead. You need to work on yourself, and once you work on that jealousy and whatever they post does not faze you, you will understand how exhilarating it actually feels when you're able to see someone post and you're like, that's nice. I'm actually happy for this person. You don't necessarily even have to be happy. Just say, oh, that's cool, and then move on.
It may not be cool saying it, but that's cool don't necessarily mean it's cool.
Yeah,
let's take a short break. Let's really take a short break. When we return, we'll get into more conversations. Lola, I think, has our next story.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Jasiri. We did start, we did have a good laugh on the envy and jealousy story.
But which is not over, by the way.
Yes, it's not over.
To be honest.
Yes, we'll continue to find stories, that just make us relax a little. Honestly. Life is hard in itself. The next one we have is a bit heavy and a bit saddening. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has deployed additional security forces to Kwara State following a deadly massacre in Kalama local government area, where suspected terrorists killed at least 162 people in coordinated attacks in rural communities. The assault, which occurred on Tuesday, February the 3rd, 2026, targeted Kwara and Nuku villages and is being described as one of the deadliest attacks in Nigeria this year. According to the Red Cross and eyewitness accounts, the attackers stormed the communities, rounded up residents, tied their hands and opened fire. Homes and shops were set ablaze, forcing survivors to flee into surrounding bushland. President Tinubu condemned the killings as cowardly and barbaric, ordering the deployment of any army battalion under a new military operation, Operation Savannah Shield, to protect civilians and neutralize the attackers.
So security officials say the attack was ideologically motivated. The gunmen had reportedly been in the area for weeks, attempting to preach and impose extremist beliefs on the residents. When villagers refused to abandon their allegiance to the Nigerian state and accept the group's ideology, the attackers launched a violent assault. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdul Razak described the killings as a deliberate massacre that's driven by extremist ideology, not the typical banditry or ransom-seeking attacks seen elsewhere.
Well, the aftermath has left communities devastated. Entire families were wiped out, homes were destroyed, and survivors were traumatized. While dozens of victims have already been buried, officials say that more bodies are still being recovered from nearby areas as displaced residents struggle to find safety. Our fear now hangs over neighboring communities as military operations intensify, but residents remain anxious about further attacks. Now, the massacre has also drawn international condemnation, with the United Nations and countries, including Turkey, expressing outrage and pledging support to Nigeria's counter-terrorism efforts. This is really sad, but let's take a look at this.
Refugee over the death of 75 of the subjects in Europe. I like the pictures. The emirate is versatile, and from the information I've been getting, this village refused to succumb to a perverted form of Islamic doctrine. They are lying under the emirate, abiding by the Islamic faith. And basically, they don't want any alteration and alignment, alteration to what, how they pray to God, how they pray to Allah. And because they refuse, absolutely refuse a change in doctrine in the faith, they were attacked and massacred. It's different from what we used to see, where subjects were kidnapped for ransom. But this was just a pure massacre. It's something we truly condemn and commiserate with you.
Well, that was the governor of Kwara State. Now let's take a look at what people had to say, reactions on social media. We have this one from Ree, and it says, "Your life isn't more precious than the lives of these innocents killed. The only dividing factor is your location and luck. This could have been you or me. A revolution is needed in this country." PJ here says, "I'm scared for this country, the way we move on from these avoidable deaths. We are beginning to see that these murders, as normal and move on too quickly without reaction." Dr. Ima says, "These kinds of thing doesn't move our leaders anymore. Their hearts have been hardened against their citizens. We're on our own, and things doesn't seem to get better anytime soon." Abola Day here says, "The Owo massacre is still fresh in my head. Then the Elwata, over 200. I couldn't sleep for a week, and people forget like it never happened. I think we're in deep trouble in this country because people move on like it's nothing, and it's scary. Is this our new norm? I need to know."
This is terrible. How long will all these continue in Nigeria? How long? Government should rise up to their primary responsibility, says Big Daddy Spot. And I keep saying, as we always say on this table, dear table, If only one day you could speak to us and say the things that you have heard at our dining table, then the world will know that when we sit on this table, we are not playing games. We are serious. And I keep saying, like I started before, when these attacks begin to simmer and slither through the boundaries into Lagos, our eyes will clear. Because now it seems like it doesn't have anything to do with us because we're in Lagos. It doesn't affect us. This is Kwara. Inorifao. This is Kwara. We haven't, and what that guy says, you know, it touched me when he says, this is a new norm. He couldn't sleep for a week after the Yelwata killings.
Yeah.
He couldn't sleep for a week, over 200 dead. This is at 75 and in Kwara State. And you see you're deploying security forces. What does that say? Do things really happen without your knowledge? There's a picture within a picture. I keep saying it here. There's a picture within a picture. And this is pre-election year. This pre-election year, the year is just starting. What are we to expect between now and the end of the year, between now into February, when the first set of elections are going to happen?
It's just saddening. You know, I've been seeing the story. I've been avoiding it intentionally because it's a lot. It's a lot. Like we say on this table, we talk about numbers, and I don't want people to see it as numbers. They need to see them as humans. These are people's children, people's fathers, people's mothers, people's uncles, aunties. They are human. They have family they have left behind. And I'm wondering how the people in the surrounding villages are feeling. This is morbid fear. Fear they will not be able to sleep. We're talking about is a community, relocating even a community that is even living somewhere. Yeah. Imagine when you have to run from your community because of security. You don't even know where you are going. People will run without even packing anything. They just want to save their lives first. I just wonder what is happening to our security.
See,
every time this happens, that is when you will see them deploying people. We've talked on this table so many times that this is, you already have a mental picture that these people are going to ungoverned areas, areas that they know that people are not really focusing on, little villages. Are those not those kinds of places that they should have some military, you know, stations nearby so that everybody can feel a bit safe, especially places that are not close to urban areas, that are in villages. Look at this. Looking at that open grave, it's a lot to take.
The moment Nigerians, you know, begin to realize and have it at the back of their minds that we are our own security, and seriously, and I'm speaking as someone who has experienced insecurity in 4 different states. Imagine leaving one state to another and then you experience, and then moving and then you experience. And see, these people don't really care about you. You are your own security. You have to find a way to secure yourself and your family, honestly, because it's too much. I'm tired of even talking about it. So you mean that these people came, and actually Sagir went to the community 2 days, you know, after the massacre happened. I can even imagine the fear, you know, that he actually felt before going there or embarking on that trip. And, you know, there were so many interviews, and one that actually touched me was where a man said, these people did not spare anybody. All the old people, young people, fathers, mothers, children, kids, even babies, they killed a lot of people. Imagine losing such a number in one community.
According to the governor, he said the terrorists, he was telling the president that the terrorists are killing the citizens because, you know, the citizens there are refusing to convert to Islam. But what I know...
Is this a religious war?
Listen, and I'm wondering why now you're refusing to convert. When has that been a big deal? When are you now saying that Christians or which other denomination that is there cannot move to another state and live peacefully?
As a Nigerian.
As a Nigerian, first of all, forget religion. As a Nigerian, first of all, you're saying that I cannot decide to get up from here and say I'm going to Kwara State to live because I just want to live there. I like the place. It's calm. It's peaceful. I just love it there. And now you're forcing me to convert. So that is the reason why the terrorists are killing citizens.
So we talked about accountability. So these people came, you know, unleashed such an amount of mayhem, and how many days after, we still don't know where they are, we still don't know who they are? Is that what you're saying? You don't know where they are?
From the report, they said these people have been in the town, trying to convert them.
Definitely.
They say they have been in the town.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that is not enough time for security forces to muster and get there? They were there for some time trying to convert them into whatever ideology. And nobody could.
When we spoke about what happened in Plateau State and in Jos, where we actually, one of our correspondents was there, they were living like, even Yelwata, they were living like that. They were in town. They don't usually come like that and just get into action. You would stay for a couple of weeks, a couple of days to integrate again. And we talked on this table that even the citizens, we have to be doing better as a community policing.
Very careful.
When you see somebody that you're not familiar with, even in Delta State, where there was that. Listen, we have had these kinds of conversations on this table. And I'm saying it's not new to Nigerians. And like one of the comments or one of the reactions said, is this a new normal for us? Because the way we move away from this
it has been a new normal for a long time.
We have some of our listeners, viewers are sending us messages. Somebody says since 2009 till date, it's beginning to be a normal thing. It's not by deploying troops, but to find a lasting solution to it, because those murderers are not invisible. They are located somewhere. Thank you so much for your message. This other message says, the nation is governed by the most lucky politicians, because how can we see our fellow Nigerians die in numbers and nobody cares? The president won't be forced to resign. Little things force a government to quit, but nothing happens to us to move. What a people.
It makes them feel we're comfortable with everything. It doesn't really
what is tripping us is how America is calling out our first lady and everybody's laughing and everybody's feeling. You know, let's not even go. The things that bother us or the things that are our focus are not the things that have to do with the ordinary citizen. And like I say, watch this space. This is pre-election year. Heading up to election year, a lot of these things are going to unfold.
I'm sorry, we're not even done with, the one that happened in Kurmanwali in Kaduna State, local government, where 177 abducted victims, they've now been rescued. Apparently, they were rescued from the bandits through a joint security operation led by Kaduna State government and security operatives. But then, we've heard that before.
Of course,
we've heard that before.
Released, but we never knew.
No arrest. So you rescued them. Were they casualties?
How were they arrested? How were they
casualties?
rescued?
Were they arrested? The bandits themselves?
No, we never hear. We just hear that the people that were kidnapped have been rescued, and that is where the information stops. What happened? How were they rescued?
How were they?
They just saw them at the town square, and they just gathered them like chickens. And nothing we have heard about the kidnappers. Just like all these stories, your water is there. We're talking about the Owo massacre. This is in Kwara. Are we not supposed to be getting afraid until it starts to happen? Maybe in Ogun State,
Lagos.
Lagos is the hub of all things.
Lagos. What are we going to do then? Everybody would just running helter-skelter. And Lagos, because we're so many in this city, where are you going to run to exactly?
Honestly.
That's why I say, until we begin to understand the gravity of what is playing out, then only then we will take it seriously.
Sorry, let's quickly read this last one. It hurts to see fellow citizens die daily in hundreds, and the government does nothing. I'm so scared and ashamed to be a Nigerian now. Benda Richman from Abeokuta.
I'm sorry,
thank you very much.
Other African countries calling us Uzbekistan.
Oh God, don't go there.
This one says, my sisters, well done. I appreciate all your efforts, your fearless efforts in enlightening our society. The only option for Nigeria is to divide the nation. Let every entity govern themselves and as they want. Otherwise, I foresee a severe crisis that could result in another civil war.
I will not say this in English. For moi, c'est la vérité. Tout ce qu'on doit faire, c'est ça. Ce n'est que ça.
Do you know even the herders, in Kano State, they move around with weapons now?
No.
Because they're scared for their cattle. Sorry, their cattle. They're scared that their
after
cattle
a while, Nigerians are going to move around with cattle and with weapons. Nigeria is going to move around with anti-venoms in their freezers. Because why? Because we're a mini government unto
let's
ourselves.
know that you are Nigeria, you are your own government. You provide your own healthcare, your own security, your own housing.
They're doing it already. They're doing it already. We don't even go to the hospitals anymore. We go to the pharmacy. Once we feel sick, we go to the pharmacy. I have malaria.
Self-medication. Do you know people even know how to
become a government?
People use ChatGPT to read their results.
Guys, we have to go. Thank you so much for being a part of the show for today. We will be back bright and early, hopefully with better stories to share with you on Monday morning. And may God help us and may God bless Nigeria.